Alright, so Granny's stewed potato starts out with about 12 ounces of bacon, which I have cut, which of course is just half a pack of, 12 ouncer. So I'm going to stir that around. She would actually use close to about half a pound, but she fed an army, and I don't really have an army. I just got a small troop here. So I'm going to start this on low and let it start to render down. I'm going to add half of an onion in there that I have diced and let it cook right with that bacon. Alright, when your bacon is about halfway done, add 2.5 tablespoons of butter and stir that in too. Alright, so I added just enough water to cover the potatoes, just by a little bit. I'm going to add some black pepper, a couple tablespoons if that's what you like, and a little bit of salt. You got to have salt, even with the bacon. The potatoes just, they crave that salt. So I'm going to bring these up to a boil. So I'm going to cut them back down and let them simmer until they're tender and all that broth is nice and thick. Alright, so see how it's starting to get thick there? Just like that. That's what you're looking for. Some of it's broke down and some of it's not. Just right. So what I'm going to do now is actually just turn the heat off and let it sit for about 10 minutes and then it's ready to go. So I've never made a little pot of anything in my life, but we're going to try to make a little pot of chicken and dumplings. I've got 2 bone-in chicken breasts. I'm just going to add some salt in there. And I'm going to add some pepper. Alright, let's add some water. We're going to cover that up by a couple of inches. About 3 or 4 inches. Alright, I'm going to add 3 chicken bouillon cubes right there, and that just kind of drives home that chicken flavor. But I also use bone-in chicken, so that helps too. And we're going to slow simmer this probably for about an hour. Keep an eye on your water level here. You want to try and keep it up as high as you can. But that's it. So I'll be back in about an hour. Alright, so taking the chicken out, you see all that fat in there? Yeah, don't get rid of that. Just don't do it. Alright, here's those seasonings. I'm going to add those in. Give that a good stir. Alright, so turn the heat back up. Now I'm going to use Ann's old-fashioned flat dumplings. Yep, these are made in AYDEN, North Carolina. Everybody around here uses them, even though some of them will never, ever, ever admit to it. But that is what I'm using today because it's easy and they're absolutely delicious. And if they were good enough for Grandmama, then they're good enough for me. Now I'm sure you can find something similar at your grocery store. I like to take them just like this and pop them in half. But like I said, something similar in your grocery store, I'm sure. If not, I'll leave the website. I don't know if they ship their cold stuff or not, but I will definitely leave it down there for you. And I'll leave you my recipe for homemade dumplings as well. I'm going to go ahead and put all these guys in there, the whole thing, and then I'll add that chicken right back in. Let's add 2 cans of creamy chicken. Any kind you like. I use store brand because to me it tastes just as good. Well, it's just as good as the other in my book. Or in my pot, rather. Alright, grab this one. I've turned it down to low. I'm going to let it sit on low for about 30 minutes. Let that soup incorporate, and it's done. Remember how I said I was going to make a little pot? Yeah, I don't know how. The best thing about this dish is that it's a one-pot meal. That's what Granny always really liked about it too. And all you have to wash at the end of the day is the bowl. So, and it's one of those meals where you just keep it on the stove, keep it on low, keep it on warm, and everybody just help themselves. Whenever they want it, they can come get a bowl. That's the glory of chicken and dumplings. All right, y'all. We're going to roll this over to the next dinner in 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, so tonight I'm making Nanny's meatloaf. Almost said Granny, but it's Nanny. And I'm starting with a little over 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to add some pepper, a little bit of salt, like that. And then I'm going to add half of a diced bell pepper, half of the green and half of the red, and some onion. So I'm going to bring this over to the side and get that diced up really, really small. Alright, so let's add a couple of eggs. I'm going to add 3, I believe. Right in there. And then you're going to need 2 sleeves of saltine crackers. No breadcrumbs for this one. I had one grandmother that used breadcrumbs, one that used crackers. Both equally good. Hold on, might be loud for a second. So you're going to take each sleeve of crackers here and just give it a mush, just like that. And you want both sleeves in there crushed up really, really good. Alright, and then 1 full cup of milk, and I'm going in with my hands. Now, I'm going to take my ring off. If you don't want to see that, close your eyes. Alright, I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of regular old tomato ketchup. I'm going in with my hands one more time, but I'll spare you this one. Alright, so I got a 9x13 here, and I'm going to spread this out evenly. Nanny always made it in a 9x13. Granny always made a football. You know, it's just what it is. Both of them, like I said before, just equally good. Just did it a little different. So, in there it goes. 350 degrees in the oven for about an hour. And then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put ketchup on half because Melody doesn't like ketchup on hers. So I'll put ketchup on half of this and then stick it back in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. Alright, y'all, so there you go. We always eat it with a pickle and some loaf bread. That is totally Mayberry style. That's how Aunt Bee would have served it. And that is my grandmama's meatloaf. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know. Tag me on IG. All the things. Alright, so right now, we're just going to go eat. So when Granny got older, there was one thing she really liked, and that was convenience. Now, could she cook? Yes, she can cook beyond anything you'll ever see on Food Network. I mean, who are they? But she taught me a little trick. I was kind of young, but I still remember it. She put her hot dogs in a pan and stick them in the oven and let them get good and hot. And tell you the truth, the flavor on them is really good that way. I am going to have Carolina Bright Leaf. These are the red dogs. I'm the only one that really likes them. So I'm only going to fix 2 for me. I'm going to put the rest in a bag and stick them in the freezer for next time we have hot dogs. But like I said, Granny always had the red dogs, and then I'm going to cook these for everybody else. Had a last minute order for a red dog, so I added an extra red dog in there. Anyway, I'm going to put these in the oven. No water, no anything, just in the oven, 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Carolina dog, you start with mustard, just regular old yellow mustard, much as you like. I like quite a bit, so I'm putting quite a bit. And then you're going to add some onion, however you want it on there. Hey, don't roll over. People are trying to look at you. Some onion on there. Let me get the chili. I'm just going to let it play. Hang on. I'm getting the chili. I'm over here getting the chili. That's right. I'm back. Did you miss me? All right. We're going to add some chili on there. Oh, yes. Love, 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 love. And I'm just going to show you these red dogs. Bob's going to have the regular beef dogs. He's going to have them the same way, so I'm just going to show you mine tonight. Typically, you see his plate. All right, I'm going in with just a little bit of slaw, just so I get that flavor. You add as much slaw as you want to. You can add a half a cup on there if that's what you want. It's your hot dog. Just like that. Oh, yes. I'm so excited. All right, and plain potato chips, because that's what Grandmama likes. She didn't like anything with flavor on it. And I typically agree with her. I don't like flavored potato chips all that well either. There you go. There's a Carolina dog. And Grandmama would have made them at least once a week. I ain't kidding. Got a 1.5 pounds of hamburger here. I'm going to go ahead and start chopping that up. That sounds like a lot to some people. When you say anything more than a pound, they're like, what? But Grandmama would have used 2. This thing would have been huge. So, you know, 1.5 pounds, well, it's pretty modest if you ask me. So I drained off some of the fat on this. We're going to add some all-purpose flour. A little over a tablespoon right in there. And get that stirred in really good. So get that flour taste cooked out of there. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce. That's the taste. It is. It's the taste. Grandma will sit here and shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. So I don't know what to tell you. She cooked, like Tamara said, with her heart. So just a couple more shakes just to make us happy. Then we're going to add some water. Just a little bit at a time. If you hear anything in there going in the background, I've got potatoes over here boiling for some mashed potatoes. You want to get it to a not quite a gravy consistency. It's the best way I know how to explain it. If I had exact measurements, I'd give them to you. Alright, so I've turned the heat off because I'm going to be making the shepherd's pie right here in this pan. I'm going to add some cheese. Grandmama would have added some cheese as long as Daddy wasn't looking. Because he swore he didn't like cheese, but he ate it all the time. He just didn't know it. Alright, so I just made a little bit of mashed potatoes here. This is perfect for leftover mashed potatoes. So the next night, you know, you can make a shepherd's pie if you had fried chicken or anything such as that the night before and you got some leftover mashed potatoes. But I just made a small amount here. Just use your favorite recipe. I'm going to put this in the oven, 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. I might add some cheese to the top. I haven't made up my mind yet. Granny never did. She usually hid the cheese in the meat so Daddy wouldn't see it. But I might. We'll see. Alright, y'all, so that is going to do it for this video. This has been really fun to do, kind of reminisce and all the memories of my grandmother. So I appreciate you tagging along for that. Plus, some of you actually asked for that. And I do have one question before I go. If you want to see more old-fashioned country, North Carolina recipes, things like that, let me know down in the description box. I know that a lot of us we all work and we're all looking for, you know, comfort, but yet easy and quick. But if you'd like to see some of those, let me know. And, you know, maybe I'll throw in a couple every now and then. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care, my friends. And may God always bless you.